afraid to call out LeBron. LeBron's a great player and a great guy. But this notion that he's got to have all the best players on his team. He's got Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. He want everybody. He don't want to compete. He want to be the favorite all the time.
The entire NBA had to change its rules because of one man, LeBron James. When he started assembling super teams, the league office stepped in. Adam Silver had to reach for the rule book and start rewriting it from the ground up. That second apron rule, that didn't appear out of nowhere. It was born because one player decided that simply competing wasn't enough. He wanted total control, guaranteed rings, no risks, no surprises. And now people act like that era was just normal business. Come on. Comparing that to Charles Barkley joining an older Hakeem Olajuwon is ridiculous. Barkley wasn't constructing an Avengers-level roster in his prime. He was chasing one last shot at a championship near the end of his career. LeBron, on the other hand, teamed up with two top-tier stars who were both in their absolute primes in Miami. That wasn't about friendship or timing. That was a straight-up power move. Now picture this. Charles Barkley, a guy who has never filtered his opinions and has never played the corporate puppet, makes one mild comment about LeBron's super team era. That's it, just one light remark. Suddenly, the LeBron defense force goes full DEFCON 1. They reacted like Barkley had committed treason against the king himself.
Second apron in, because LeBron got all his guys together. KD wanted to go play with the Warriors. What? Wait, y'all don't want to win the championship?
All Charles Barkley did was speak the truth. He pointed out how LeBron always seemed to get everything he wanted. Record-breaking payrolls, teammates like J.R. Smith brought in on command, and trades approved instantly. Then Barkley asked one simple question that set everything off. Does the so-called best player in the world really need all the best players around him? That was it. That was the crime. And what happened next was completely predictable. Richard Jefferson rushed in like LeBron's personal PR representative, twisting the facts to make Barkley sound bitter. That's what made it worse. Jefferson is smart, too smart. When intelligent people start bending the truth, it's not confusion anymore. It's manipulation. Now, let's be real for a second. Are we seriously pretending that getting drafted by a team is the same thing as secretly assembling your own dream roster behind closed doors? That's not a comparison. That's delusion. So let's set the record straight once and for all. Charles Barkley in 1984 was a rookie, plain and simple. He didn't choose Philadelphia. Philadelphia chose him. Meanwhile, LeBron James in 2010 went live on national television for a full one-hour primetime event called The Decision, announcing where he would take his talents and reshaping the league in the process. And that difference matters.
What's your decision?
In this fall, man, it's very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Why?
Like I said before, I feel like it's going to give me the best opportunity to win and to win for multiple years. And not only just to win in the regular season or just to win 5 games in a row or 3 games in a row. I want to be able to win championships.
LeBron didn't just leave Cleveland. He went on national television to announce that he was joining forces with 2 other top 15 players. That wasn't fate or coincidence. That was pure strategy. And here's the kicker. Dr. J in 1985 was 35 years old. That wasn't primetime Julius Erving soaring from the free throw line with the afro flying. That was a veteran still playing at a high level, but clearly past his peak. Same story with Moses Malone, 30 years old and long past the MVP-level dominance he showed back in '83. Compare that to Dwayne Wade, 28 years old and fresh off an MVP-caliber season. It's not even close. How can anyone seriously equate the situations? But Richard Jefferson didn't stop there. He started throwing in the 1997 Houston Rockets as if they were some unstoppable super team at their peak. Let's stick to the facts. When Barkley joined Houston in '96, Hakeem Olajuwon was still playing well, but by the time Scottie Pippen arrived in '99, Hakeem was 36, Barkley 35, and Pippen 33, all past their prime. Pippen had also just undergone surgery and missed nearly half the season. That wasn't a super team, that was a group of legends trying to squeeze out one last run. The average age of that so-called super team? 35. Meanwhile, the average age of LeBron's Miami Heat squad? 26. The difference is staggering.
No sympathy when you are LeBron James, the best player in the world, with all of those tools, top-heavy tools. We cannot have any sympathy.
That's not experience, that's domination in their prime. Let's stop pretending this was even remotely similar. And then, Richard Jefferson really lost it. He actually said, and I quote, "Pippen was in year 11, so he was in his prime." Wrong. By 1999, Scottie Pippen was in year 12, averaging just 14.5 points, his lowest since 1989. The man was coming off surgery, dealing with knee and ankle pain, and nowhere near the elite version of himself from his Bulls days. That's your idea of prime? Be serious. This is what happens when the LeBron narrative machines start spinning out of control. They twist stats, rewrite timelines, and ignore context just to protect an image. Just when you think Jefferson can't stretch it any further, boom, he drags in the 2004 Lakers. Like that comparison even makes sense. Karl Malone was 40 years old. Let me repeat that, 40. He was in his 19th season and coming off a year where he didn't even make the All-Star team for the first time since 1988. With the Lakers, he averaged just 13.2 points, a massive drop from his career average of 25. But sure, Richard.
Championship. He got a young Kyrie Irving and a terrific Kevin Love. And
But it takes more than that to win the
They
championship.
just won the championship. What do you mean it takes?
And Kendrick Perkins? Come on, bro. You were literally on that Celtics team. How are you just skipping over the facts like that? Kevin Garnett was traded to Boston on July 31st, 2007 in a massive 7-player deal. That wasn't some secret handshake in a nightclub. It was a front office masterclass. And let's not forget Ray Allen, who was traded a month earlier on June 28th in another multiplayer deal loaded with draft picks. These weren't backroom deals over cocktails or text chains between stars. This was Danny Ainge grinding the phones nonstop, making real trades happen. That's how basketball has always worked, one move after another, old school GM style.
They got drafted to a team with Moses Malone, maybe Dr.
This wasn't three buddies plotting behind the scenes to take pay cuts and dominate the league. There's a huge difference between a general manager building a team and a trio of superstars colluding to control the game. That line got blurred forever when LeBron changed the playbook. One path is about competition, the other is about control, and LeBron chose control. The numbers tell the story. The 2010 Miami Heat Big Three featured LeBron James at 25, Dwayne Wade at 28, and Chris Bosh at 26, all in the prime of their careers. LeBron was fresh off an MVP season. Wade had just finished a top 5 MVP campaign, and Bosh was averaging 24 points and nearly 11 rebounds per game. These weren't washed-up veterans. They were young, dominant, and hungry. Now, compare that to the so-called super team Rockets of 19...
He teamed up with Hakeem Olajuwon, and then Scottie Pippen was also there. So it wasn't older. Olajuwon and Charles Barkley were at year 14.
Still great, but clearly past it.
Still great, but clearly past his prime. 30s recovering from surgery. That's not the same league, not the same energy. It's a whole different world. Barkley was averaging just 16.1 points, his lowest in a decade, and Pippen put up only 14.5 points at 33. Their combined age, 104, along with 0 All-Star appearances that season, tells the story. Be honest, that's not a super team, that's a farewell tour.
So what are we even talking about here? Is this basketball analysis or straight-up fan fiction? Because the stuff these LeBron defenders spin belongs on a bookshelf, not on ESPN panels. And here's what drives me crazy. Every talk show, every podcast, every YouTube debate, it's the same formula. There's always that one guy whose full-time job seems to be defending LeBron like his paycheck depends on it. It doesn't matter the topic. Trade deadline, draft night, LeBron needing more help, they're always there. It reminds me of when LeBron carried his team.
And we've always put forth the team and the respect that we have for each other to go out there and still do our job.
While it's his problem, can you help but take it personally with the commitment you made to come back?
No, I'm disappointed. I don't take it personally because I understand he's been put in a tough and difficult position. I think the disappointment comes that, if that was...
On a random Tuesday in February, LeBron James dominates the conversation as if it's less sports commentary and more worship hour. It feels like the entire sports media acts as though LeBron has dirt on everyone behind the scenes. Maybe he does. What else explains grown men twisting themselves into knots to protect his narrative? You can't just say he's one of the greatest anymore. No, now you must declare him the greatest, or you're instantly labeled a hater. There's no in-between. This isn't fandom, it's a cult. LeBron is surrounded by an army of loyal defenders, ready to attack anyone who questions him. When did basketball debates turn into loyalty pledges? When did GOAT talk become religion? The irony is staggering. When Kevin Durant joined the Warriors in 2016, LeBron's camp cried the loudest, claiming it wasn't competitive, it was ruining basketball. Excuse me? The same man who invented the modern super team is now complaining about competitiveness? That's hypocrisy at its finest. And here's the kicker. Someone followed LeBron's own playbook, and now he's mad about it. That's like the guy who invented the atom bomb complaining when someone else built one too. The Warriors' dynasty was built differently. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green were drafted and developed brick by brick, and only later did they add Kevin Durant. That's team building. The Miami Heat's Big Three in 2010, however, was a manufactured super team, orchestrated through secret phone calls and private meetings. LeBron engineered it from the inside. Somehow, Durant became the villain, while LeBron got painted as the hero. Now, don't get it twisted. LeBron James is unquestionably great. He's a basketball genius, top